My garden style started off being very proper, in the sense that it was very landscaped. I actually had a diagram, and I had drawn what I wanted, and it looks nothing like that anymore because I've just added and added and added. And my name is Zuleikha. I'm a retired teacher by profession. So I moved to this house in 2007. So it's about almost 19 years, I'd say, 18 years, yeah. So when I came here, there was absolutely nothing. I started off with the garden after the construction of the house was done. And it's been a journey, yeah. Things are a bit haphazard, things growing everywhere, but that's how I like it.
What was this area supposed to look like?
It was just the lawn and the triangular palms, but then I lost one triangular palm over there, so then I just put in a bamboo initially, that one over there. And then this jade vine, I added it very recently. It's about 3 years, I'd say, yeah.
It's a magnificent specimen.
Yeah, it is.
You know, jade vines are like the holy grail for gardeners because they're hard to find.
Hard to find, yes.
And they're hard to grow.
Yeah.
How did you get your hands on this one?
I got it from Butterfly Bush.
Okay.
Amara. So I got it from her as a tiny little thing like that. Very small, and it was like a weak little thing, but it's really taken off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's completely, in 3 years, it's completely taken over the trellis.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are the new ones. So this is what they look like when they're still developing. Then you have this lovely vibrant green of the mature ones. So I think you get this vine in other colors, orange, purple, but this greenish color is unusual.
Yeah, this is the jade.
The jade color, yeah. Here's one that's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
That's still fresh. Oh, I don't want you to break it. Now, let me see. Yeah. So that's just a freshly developed flowers. In terms of jade care, anything special that you did?
Nothing very special, just the usual. I get my compost from my sister in Beresford. She makes wormy compost, and I get it quite often, and I just give it to all my plants. Most of them do well. Yeah.
So good soil, good shade, and enough water.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Every now and again we have to like adjust the camera over there because
it's growing on top. So no, we're not going to cut the jade. We're going to redirect the camera. It makes perfect sense. So I do notice that you do have a lot of container plants.
Yeah, because of the restrictions. Space is at the premium here. I don't have space.
How big would you say your garden area is?
I would say it's a medium-sized garden.
Okay.
Yeah. Like smallish. Yeah. But I've squeezed in whatever I can.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's useful because I think it's a really useful strategy, and it will be interesting for people to see this because space is an issue in many Lusaka gardens, and when they see plants getting to this size, I think it will challenge the way they think about how they can landscape their garden.
Yeah.
And over here, I see you're a huge fan of euphorbia.
It's just taken over because I started off with just a few stems, and I've given it to my sister-in-law. She's got it outside her.
Good.
Yeah, I've given it to so many people, and it's just very abundant. Yeah.
And I think it's nice because you have lovely mature specimens, so a lot of people will just see it in the nursery with just one stem and think, what is this? But now if you look at it here, you can see how it fills in quite a large pot. And there's so many different varieties side by side, if people can see the pink one, the red one.
And the colors kind of merge. They mix up somehow. As you can see, this jade is deciding
it's taking over.
And I have quite a few of these lilies. Do you remember Jane Glasspool?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got this from her?
I used to buy them from her. Yeah, I've got some over there. But a lot of them have disappeared actually. I have so many colors. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them are missing now.
Yeah, I know, that's it.
Yeah. And
here?
then over here we have the red lantana. I had two juxtaposed next to each other, but unfortunately the leaves were kind of falling off and I thought it was disease. So initially I chopped off the leaves and then my gardener decided to just go right down without asking me anyway.
You gotta love the initiative, right?
Yeah.
Lots of initiative.
I'm pretty proud of my coconut tree over there because it gives me lots of fruits and the proper like water inside and you know, like the ones that come from Dar. They sell them on the streets. Yeah.
The one we eat, yeah.
Yeah, the one we eat. So I started off by having only like 3 or 4 the first year, and then the second year there were about 6. But this year we harvested 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you grow these completely from seed? Or you got cuttings from somewhere?
I got them from Rose Garden.
Oh,
when I initially moved. It was so small. Yeah.
And how old is this tree now?
As old as my garden, which is about 18 years.
Mature.
Yeah.
Mature and fruit bearing.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So I have the indigenous hibiscus over there, which never has a problem. It's always flowering.
Is this local to Zambia?
Yeah. The small leaves.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And it never gets any disease. But the hybrids, I have to really watch.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah.
Very interesting.
And these cycads, they're also about, I'd say 20 years. Yeah, and there's males and females. As you can see, the male cones are just coming out. So these male cones will fertilize the female flower, and then the seeds are very viable. Yeah.
This is the male. This is the female.
And this is the female flower. And then the seeds inside are red in color when they are fully formed. And what you do is you drop them in a bucket of water. And the ones that are floating, just throw them away. Because they won't germinate. But I have 100% germination because they are so close to each other, the males and the females. So this is a banana here, which has those big fat plantain type of bananas. But I told my gardener, there was a whole lot of them. I said, you don't need so many. There's a mother, a sister, and a baby. That's all.
You just need the 3 years.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And this is an interesting banana. Is this the purple? There's a reddish one. I think they call it the...
that's the one. Yeah. And this is a miniature one. But he needs to remove some of them. I need to give them away to someone because it's a waste.
Is it just ornamental or does it actually have fruit?
No, it had fruit.
Oh, wow.
You know those little mini ones?
I've never seen
them.
them.
They're very sweet.
Never ever seen them.
This is a peach tree, but it's like going everywhere.
As long as it has fruit.
Yeah. So this is where the desert roses are hanging out for now.
Really nice.
Yeah. Most of them are my babies. These ones, They're my babies, which have grown so much. I see he's putting too much water. Have to keep
These have
watering.
grown ridiculous. I've never seen plants this tall.
I tried to like plant them, but somehow,
Yeah.
I'll have to do it. I'm planning to trim all of them
Yeah.
and make them go out instead of up.
Up.
Yeah, I did that with this one here, and it was quite successful. Instead of going up, it's going out.
It's going out and spreading.
Yeah. But as I told you, my gardener sprayed them with some horrific chemical, so there was no leaves, no flowers, nothing.
Oh dear.
But they've just about recovering now.
Because this looks like one that you would have gotten from us. This bluish leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that we might have sold.
To me, it's probably from that one there.
Oh, okay.
That one is from you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you remember?
How come it's so big? Even ours are not that big.
Do you remember?
It does. Oh, I guess because the pot is different,
Yeah.
but it looks huge. As we know, desert roses take a long time to grow. They're very
Yeah.
slow growing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
roughly what sort of age would these be?
These are about 6 years.
Okay.
The plastic pots,
Okay.
all of them, the lineup, yeah. And then this one is from you. This one is so beautiful, but as I told you, they were all struggling. It's a triple petal in red, yeah. And then this one is a common one, yeah, but look at the codex.
What's wrong with the codex?
No, just the
It's
beauty
thick.
of
It's just thick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
And then this one is such a pretty one, but unfortunately, there's one slightly open there, but they've all been struggling.
If I had
Because
to
of-
guess, I would say they need much more.
Bone meal?
No, they need much more light.
Oh,
Heat. Sorry.
Heat.
Because here there's humidity
I see.
from the swimming pool, and then the heat here. So, whereas if you put them in a drier area
Okay.
where it's dry heat, they might do better.
Yeah, but Priscilla, where? In my garden.
Somewhere at the front there.
I have them in the front there, but there's no space.
Yeah.
Unless I move those things here.
You can get creative. You'll find a way.
Yeah.
You'll find a way. In the driveway, they can fit in the driveway. I'm sure.
They were there
It will be
before.
It will be a narrower driveway,
Yeah.
but that's what I would think. Because a lot of this is, when you see the aphids,
Yeah.
that usually comes with
Moisture.
moisture,
Yeah. True.
and that might also be a reason why they're getting so leggy,
Yeah.
because they're reaching
For the sun.
for the sun.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Some of them, yeah. Most of them, yeah. These two are the Sabi star from Zimbabwe.
Oh, is it? I thought
Yeah.
the Sabi star was like one of these indigenous looking ones.
This one, these two, they have like the star-shaped flower, which is white, with a pink edge to it.
Lovely.
I can show you pictures of the flowers, yeah.
It looks amazing because it's almost like this, but it's got thorns.
But it belongs to the family of Millie.
Oh,
But
okay, that
it's
makes
like
sense.
a desert rose.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think move your things into the sun.
Okay.
Those little ones are struggling.
Yep. Okay. Do that. Thank you. This is my macadamia nut tree, which produces a lot of nuts.
Look at this. Look at this. Honestly, you've created a little heaven for yourself.
Look at the flowers. It's very prolific. I get so many nuts.
And I'm actually quite curious because can you see you've planted the macadamia in this small space.
Yeah,
It gets extra water from the gardener, I'm assuming.
yeah.
Okay.
You know what happened? Because I had planted it before.
The pool.
Yeah. So I wasn't prepared to move it.
At least under there we know it's got everything it needs.
Yeah.
So this is the white magnolia. Is this the same as the other one you have at the front?
Yeah. But this one, I planted it like that height. About, is it 2017?
It's doing really well.
Yeah. It was that small, but it's reaching for the sky now. I trimmed it once at the top. I might do it again, but I'm scared not to let it widen out too much.
Because they can get very big.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like nice, like sort of the indoor garden feel, because I can open the sliding doors here. So we have the garden.
A private little courtyard.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, yeah. But this looks fantastic with the waxy leaves.
Yeah. And the flowers are saucer shaped, very big. And then they seed. But amazingly, they don't last for more than a day or two. Yeah, they just go brown.
And it flowers at what time of the year?
This time of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. Mostly it's green throughout the year, and then it flowers twice a year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
This grass, I've always wondered about it because it's so uneven. How do you look after it, or you just literally let it go?
I just leave it. As you can see, where people are walking too much, it's getting trampled. But it's got a very nice spongy carpet feel when you walk on it barefoot, so it's really nice. And I like it bumpy, but my husband hates it. Too bad.
Too bad. No, so there's not very much mowing involved or anything?
No,
just once a year or something?
Once a year, yeah. Oh. During the rainy season, you can flatten it and it will come up, because if you do it now, it will stay brown for such a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.